Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the Lunchtime Special Podcast, Hit and Run, hosted by your two favorite heavy hitters, Ronan and Fearless. This is where real talk meets real life as these two powerhouses break down the latest in entertainment, travel, relationships, and finance. You know it's going to be raw, unfiltered, and straight up blunt. When these two get together, you better believe truth bombs are dropping and bars are being laid down. So grab your lunch, settle in, and get ready for 60 minutes of pure fire storytelling and hard-hitting insight on the events of today from their point of view. Buckle up, folks, sit down and grab your lunch. It's about to get real.
All right. Now, welcome to the show. We got a special guest with us today, Vernon Miller. So actually, he just left an interview here with Street Stars.
Real life street
star. Let me see if I can put that background up. Let me take us down. There you go. So he was just there getting mic'd up. He was doing an interview, and I caught him on his way out on the Shreveport, Louisiana. He's promoting his book that he has out. There it is. Money, 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 the Root of All Evil. He gonna put
Get that at your Amazon store for your Kindle anytime you need. Matter of fact, the link is in my description. You need to load your own link there, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
I'll get it. No problem. So, go ahead and show your book. So Money, Money, Money. A lot of people who don't know your story, tell us a little bit about the book and what it's about.
Well, this book was written about, I did 25 years in prison. I don't know if you.
No, we're going to start from the scratch so people don't know you.
But this book, it talks about the crimes and stuff that I did that led me to get a 39-year sentence, but I only did 25 years on the 39. This is about, it only encompasses 9 months of the crime spree that I went on. So that's what this is about.
So your book starts off when you was your first day in the county jail when they shut them doors and reality just hit. Like I've been caught, I've been robbing these banks, but all of a sudden it's coming down, and you start from there, and then you talk about your time that you was robbing the banks and robbing the fast food stores, right?
Yes, sir. I kind of go back, and my birthday is December 31st.
All right.
So I actually start on my birthday, and I go all the way back from it starts in December of 93, and it goes to October of 94. And it goes about all the ups and downs that I went through, because I'm not a street guy. I wasn't raised in the street. I was actually a A and B student in school. I went to the military, and so I ended up getting caught up in a bad situation, trying to prove myself to some guys, and ended up basically trying to do whatever it took to fit in with the crowd. And it led me on a wild roller coaster. And so that wild roller coaster is in the 246 pages of this book.
We're going to have the link up there. So, I mean, your crime spree, how many years did you do a crime spree? 4 years, 5 years, 6
Just
years?
9 months.
9 months.
9 months. In and out. And that was just recently after you had been discharged. You started working a couple of jobs. You fell into the group that you were in. And then from there was like almost, few weeks, a month or so after that.
I was discharged from the military in 93, in June of 93. And I caught this case, the bank robbery case, in October 94.
Damn, you weren't even out the military a year.
Nope, not even a year.
You said, shoot, I ain't getting them benefits. I'm about to get my own benefits. I guess because robbing a bank is a federal offense, right?
Federal offense.
So you said, shoot, I've been working for the federal government. I'm trying to get paid.
But it wasn't really the banks that really got the federal charge per se. It was taking the stolen vehicle across state lines, and it was taking the money that was robbed in the bank back across state line. That's what really made it federal.
Man, because I thought every bank was a federal offense.
Well, if it's federally insured, but not all banks are federally insured.
So if you get like a credit union, so that's how they get you. I've seen that when they say,
aren't credit unions FDIC insured?
Not all, but most of them are. Yeah, nowadays it's gonna be. Well, even back then it was just. It's hard to find a bank that doesn't have the money insured by the federal government. So, and that's really what it is, just the money that's insured.
So if y'all want to rob a bank, do your research on which one ain't a federal bank.
Pause. We are not promoting that shit.
We are definitely not promoting that. Definitely not promoting that.
So man, so what made you want to write a book then? you spent, so you said you got a 39-year sentence, and you spent how many years?
25. To be more specific, it was 25 and a half.
All right. Maybe people don't believe you. You got your book, but you got your little card, don't you?
And I actually brought this just as a show and tell.
So anybody don't know, this is what they give you as identification. Oh, brother, you had hair back then.
Yeah, I had long hair.
This is what they give you in the federal penitentiary as your, you don't have no ID. You ain't got no driver's license.
That is a driver's license.
This is your driver's license in the federal
penitentiary.
You're
just not driving nowhere. You got to drive around the compound with this.
So you go in as a youngster in there. So first, let's talk a little bit about your book. What made you want to write the book?
Well, I took a creative writing class when I was in West Virginia. And the guy...
So hold on. When you say West Virginia, people might think, oh, man, he went to West Virginia University. You went in West Virginia University, right?
No, I was in Gilmer. It was
federal prison. You took the creative writing.
Yeah, federal prison. I speak so fast that I forget that. Yeah.
People like, yeah, you was in West Virginia with Michael Vick. Where was you at?
I was in prison. It was a medium security prison, and I took a creative writing class. And really, I was just trying to find something to do to program, as they say, to just take some classes just to make it look good for when I wanted to transfer to another prison. When I took the class, the guy piqued my curiosity or piqued my interest more because he started talking about screenplays. And so I had up until that point, I had always, for whatever reason, envisioned my life story being told in the form of a movie.
His brother wanted Denzel Washington to play him or something. He's like, how can I get Denzel Washington?
Hey.
So that
like I was telling you, when he was telling the story, I mean, I had pictured so many different movies in my head, from Menace to Society, the movie with Keanu Reeves where they were robbing banks just to go surfing. I had seen so many different depictions of movies in my head while we were talking for that 4 hours.
Yeah, when we talked about that, you said that, but all of those movies came after.
Exactly. That's why I said I think they stole some of your story and put it in those movies.
And that's funny
because
look at
the dead president thing. Yeah,
you would think that I actually copied those movies to write my book, but it's actually the opposite. My stuff took place before those.
Way before.
And the reason we say that is, if you watch Dead Presidents, the guy came home from the military, just like you came home from the military. They was robbing a bank with some president. Well, they didn't have a president mask, but the president's mask. I think you have robbed a bank with a Clinton and Bush. Yeah, the Clinton and Bush mask on.
Point Break was the movie where Keanu Reeves and the other actor that were robbing banks for the surfing thing. So Point Break.
So Vernon decided, he ain't want to be Republican or Democrat. We're gonna rob the bank with those very masks on. So you robbed the bank, and you actually are from Louisiana.
We came to Dallas to rob the bank.
All right. Now you in Dallas right now, right? I'm just making sure this brother ain't robbing Dallas, right? Sure ain't no bank. We ain't got no bank robbery, right? Ain't nobody. No, we joking.
I should have.
Yeah. So the good thing is that was one. They came across the state lines to rob the banks.
But first, it was 4 bank robberies. The first one we did in Shreveport, Louisiana, and because things had got really hot and hectic, after we did that first robbery, that we just decided the next 3 was gonna come to Dallas and do.
Because they say don't shit where you live. And you said when you robbed the bank, they had the news, and then your girl at the time was like, I know I just seen you on news.
Like, oh no, ain't doing nothing.
You have anything to do with that?
Man, you lucky they didn't have what's that called? Crime Stoppers.
Yeah.
You know, they'd have called in and got a reward for you.
No, I think she would have stayed down. That chick, she would have stayed down.
That's real good.
Well, my thing is, you know, Shreveport, Louisiana, period, man. There's so many of us light-skinned motherfuckers down there, man. I'm sorry. We all look alike. Like, oh, well, it's that nigga over there. No, it's that one. So it would be a little hard. It would be you hide in plain sight down there, and you might get away with it.
Yep.
So the weird thing is, you got, before you start robbing the banks, you worked at some fast food restaurants.
I worked at a Taco Bell, and I worked at it was kind of like a local Mexican restaurant chain we had called El Chico.
And then you robbed those.
Now, I didn't rob the El Chico. I robbed the Taco Bell.
You robbed the Taco Bell. So you said, brother, y'all ain't got my Taco Supreme ready. We going for it.
And actually, that robbery is in the book.
In the book.
When I robbed that Taco Bell, if you read the book, you see it's in the book.
So you say, hey, brother, when you robbed the bank, was it just money or did you get some food? Because, you know, some people.
You mean the restaurant?
The restaurant.
Like, it was just money.
Just got some
money. It had to be in and out. Let me get that
Waffle
right there. Let me get the fry. No, you got time for all that.
Give me what's something in that bag with it. Give me that bag of food right there.
That's only in Hollywood.
No, in real life, you know, people broke into other people's houses and make them a sandwich.
Oh yeah, that's
drinking the orange juice out the container. They up there drinking the orange juice out the container, but don't even put it back. Putting their saliva all over it.
In, but when you got customers coming in and out, and you got to you got to do your thing and get out.
Now, what year did you go to prison?
94.
So 94. There wasn't no cell phone. We had the pagers back then.
Yeah, just a pay phone. That's not bad.
Internet wasn't out there.
No.
So when y'all, here, like if I'm going to drive to a place, I'm going to use like my Google Maps. I'll be able to go online. So how was y'all scouting a place out of Dallas with a map?
Just riding around.
So y'all just went to the store, got a map, and said we're going to just drive around Texas.
No, we don't even remember getting a map. We just got on the freeway and just rode.
Man. So went to a whole nother state,
just rode,
and just said.
And in the book, I don't to tell you about the book is like
buy the book.
You buying the book?
No, we ain't gonna
buy the book.
But it tells you we stayed over days scouting. It wasn't just like we just came in one day and we just came in at 3:00 and we scouted. And we came in at 10:00 and scouted, and then we robbed the bank at 3.
I'm going to ask you about the book. How did particularly some of your time in the military and prison shape the story and the themes that you had written in the book itself?
Ask the question. I didn't hear you.
How did your time, particularly in the military and some of your prison time, help you discuss or write the themes of what you included in your book?
The military didn't. It was just more the creative writing class that I took. The guy, he gave me the idea and for the screenplay, and it just really grew from that.
Okay.
And the military didn't factor into it.
So one thing that happened, you robbing banks. I know you said you left the military and you was going to go back in the military.
2 years. I was going to sit out for 2 years and go back.
So they gave you like a 2-year hiatus to come back. And you couldn't wait them 2 years. So so you're saying really within 6 months of leaving the military is when the robbery started?
No, because I got out in June. And actually 6 months to maybe 7 months is when I happened to meet Larry, my co-defendant. Because I already knew one of the people, and that was the guy that introduced me to Larry. And me and Larry kind of started hanging out, roughly around January, February.
Yeah. You said 9 months to October, so
yeah,
it had to be around January, February before y'all started your spree.
Yeah,
and then it just went from there progressively.
So when we did our interview before, what really shocked me was the fact that you robbed banks, but you really ain't get no money from robbing a bank. In a sense, the first bank you robbed, the die pack went off. Yeah. So you didn't make no money. So y'all went all that effort. You didn't make no money. So what made you go to the next bank and say, what was it just like, well, because I would think, man, that would tell me, I guess I'm just not lucky. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not lucky.
I got away with that one, so I'm gonna quit right here.
Why push your luck, right?
Yeah.
So
the greed, and that's what I was saying earlier about really where my title of the book came from, because it wasn't my greed for money that made it the root of evil. It was their greed. So really, me titling this book came from my point of view of looking at it through what led me to doing what I did through them.
Man, because you were saying, and I won't go too much into the book because I really want y'all to get it. It's great. I'm just want to give y'all some synopsis of it. When you got one of the money, you basically gave, y'all split it 3 ways, but you kind of just gave your money back to the other dude, and he bought a car with your bank robbery money. So you robbed the bank and ain't really getting nothing from it.
Because the whole premise was we're going to share, but we're just going to share out the bag, rather than you take your 10,000 or whatever the split was, and I take my half. We're just gonna all keep it in the bag, and when you need some, just go in the bag and.
The problem is your need ain't like their need. They need all, they always got their hand in the cookie.
But when you on this side of it, you see that part,
right?
But when you in the midst of it and you see it from my perspective, I was like, oh, cool. We all gonna split together.
But they wasn't like that.
No, it wasn't.
So while we're there, a little bit of your background. You grew up in what they would call a happy middle-class family. You had a mom and a dad. They were both in great careers where they were supportive, and you guys didn't really want for anything. Can you kind of expand into your background and what kind of pushed you in that direction once you got out of the military to hang around that crew? Because there was something that you were missing throughout your childhood, even though you grew up
in the first interview I did with you guys, you kind of hit on that a little bit about how I needed or longed for that male figure, that male bonding. And so really it was kind of like I was just searching to be accepted by guys or people that I felt to be my peers, maybe not necessarily a father figure, but maybe like a brother or uncle or a big brother. Even when I was young, I don't know if I hit on in the first interview with you all, but I used to live in an apartment complex, and I used to go around, and I used to. I think I did an other view what they call nigga knock. You're not gonna take out running. I used to egg cars. I used to set trash dumpsters on fire. Me and my god brother, him right there.
Oh man,
we used to terrorize that apartment complex, and boy, and it kind of. But that was just how you say that mischievous teenage, preteen stuff. I didn't do anything serious enough to go to prison until I started doing this.
And I know y'all can't see it. We got the studio here, but his man is there. And we might have to interview him because he got a crazy story too, man. He got a crazy story. Let me see. I won't even hit on it, but a little bit. Yeah. He was in a coma for how many years? Or how many? You don't have to come in. You're great. I'm just going to. 4 months in there. His basically, let me just give you the synopsis. His wife set him up to get all his money, tried to kill him.
That's crazy.
9 guys.
That's
he was
crazy work.
For 4 months. So I just letting y'all know it's some stories we're gonna have here. But let's see. So Vernon, you get out the military, you're working somewhere, and then what was the initiation to say, you know what, I am going to rob the first store? Because you had, I mean, from the book, the book he said is more like 50 Shades of Gray mixed with
that was just the sex stuff.
Yeah, I'm just saying again, 50 Shades of Gray mixed with some Zane, and let's go rob it. So you did need the money to get the chicas. You already had the girls. You had to find women. So what makes you say, you know what, I can't hold off. I'm gonna go ahead and start robbing the stores,
because it really started from the premise of we shooting around, shooting dice, or we shooting around, we gambling, basically just gambling in general, dice, whatever you can find to gamble. And instead of me winning, I'm losing. And so, especially when it came to dice, hey, let me borrow 10, let me borrow 20, let me spot me this, spot me that. Oh, and so he spot me. And so without me really being,
you was already in debt.
Without me being aware that he was really keeping track of this, and it wasn't just.
So it's like me and you just been like, man, I bet you the Dallas Cowboys gonna win. You're like, all right, $10. When we think it's a friendly bet, he actually added all of it.
Yeah. So at some point he was like, hey, you remember you owed me that $500, right? You remember you owed me that $1,000. I'm like, what? Dude, I thought we had to fight over that. He's like, no, man. So this is what we're gonna do for you to pay me back. Matter of fact, we're finna go rob this. and that's kind of how it all started to go.
Yeah. At that point, the way you just said that, I think he set you up for it.
Yeah,
he already had that in the back of his head to want to do that.
Yeah, it's looking back, it's quite possible. It was already, the wheels was already in motion, but in the midst of it, just I didn't see it that way. It was just like, oh yeah,
street guys pick up on a lot of things real fast, man. They very observant. And what I'm thinking is they saw that need for you for the acceptance, and they kept you at a level. Remember, like you said, Larry kept on putting you down all the time around 30 to try to keep you just a little bit under him. You get what I'm saying? To kind of sun you a little bit, just to keep you wanting to one up him in front of the girls that y'all always hung out around. So to me, I think he left that as a leverage pen to try to get you to always try to feel like you had to come up on his level, even though you were already there. You get what I'm saying?
Once I went to prison and I got away from that environment, and I did a lot of thinking, then that's how I started to see it. Then I started to see that the roles was actually reversed in reality, but in my mind, I seen it where I was trying to fit in with him, whereas in reality, it was just him that was really trying to fit in with me. But the only way he could do it was what they call a narcissist. A narcissist, they gonna green light you. They gonna talk about you. They gonna
gaslight the hell out you.
Yeah,
make you feel like you're not right.
That's how I looked at it.
Man, so I don't want to give too much away about the book. So the book, just to let you know, because I want to switch something because I want y'all to buy the book. The book actually takes place from the time that his first day in the county jail, and he recounts all the things that led up to you getting to the jail.
Good, bad, and ugly.
Yep. So all the robberies you did, all the places, the planning, the girl, everything that got there. So I want them to buy the book, but I just want to say how adventurous it is. One thing that I know that really stuck out, I'm going to show this from the this is from your interview that happened with the real life street stars. So this is one of them. The headline on this says, raped and stabbed in prison after refusing to snitch after bank robbery gone bad. So I want to capture that a little bit because that's going to be your prelude to your second book that you're going to put out when we get there. So remember now, this book right here, and my man got the link in there. You can get it on Kindle. You can get it anywhere. Money, 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 the Root of All Evil. This book talks about how he got everything that led to his first day in prison. And then he got a 39-year sentence, of which he served 25 in federal prison. Now I want to focus on you in prison. Young dude, remember, how old are you now?
By the time I actually got into the system at Leavenworth, I was 21 going on 22.
So remember, he a 21-year-old dude going to I guess that'll be a high.
Did I just log myself out?
I hope I didn't pop out. There we go. He go to a high security prison, Leavenworth, Kansas. He just a young dude, 20-something years old. Young 20. Matter of fact, you're just 1 year able to drink.
I wasn't. I couldn't drink on the street legally. Now when I was in the military,
you can only drink on base. Yeah, you can drink on base.
At 17, I could go to the military base and drink legally. at 17, but in the free world, in the civilian world, it had to wait till I was 21.
Man. So you go to prison, you there, they lock it in on the first day. I don't want to give y'all a lot away, but I'm telling y'all in the book, man, you're gonna see how loyalty, where a gentleman can be loyal and to a fault. He was loyal to some guys who was not loyal to him. He basically lied to get some guys you lied to help guys who ride with you get out cold free.
Yeah, testify that they didn't. So he
wasn't even there.
He wouldn't have to do no time. He got out.
And then they just turned their back on you. The dude who planned most of the robberies, Larry, basically
Eric is the one
who planned it.
Yeah.
But Larry gets caught and then tells on you, like tells on everybody. Just he was telling on robberies they didn't even know about.
Yep.
Exactly. It was right, like he was telling on things he did as a kid. Like, I stole that candy when I was 12 years old, and Vernon may have been there with me. I don't know.
When we got arrested, the original indictment was me and him. It was a 4-count indictment: 1 bank, 1 gun, transportation, interstate commerce, and conspiracy. And when he finished talking to the people, they added another person, which what they call a superseding indictment. Yep. They added another person. They added 4 more counts, which was 2 more banks, and 2 more guns. My original indictment went from me facing 14 years max to now a max of 59 years. If he wouldn't have never said anything and just left it with just the original indictment, the most I was gonna get was 14 years.
He probably would have got less.
He was gonna get 14 years. Now, once he finished telling,
he still only got 10 years or something.
They reduced it to 10.
But he got less time and got you more time for opening his mouth. Had he shut up, both of y'all would have done equal time. But since he opened his mouth, he got 4 less years than you had 25 years to do.
Yep.
That's crazy work right there for 4 years.
But that lets you know, man, you can't trust somebody. You can't trust these people, man, because the dude, and he was the hard dude. I just want y'all to know, he the dude who was talking.
He claimed to be the hard dude. We know how that shit is.
I'm the bank robbery. Yeah, I know that, but I'm from the streets. And as soon as it's like the first 48, as soon as they get you behind that door,
let me play the soundbite. Let me listen.
They live like this, but I hate
let me play this soundbite real quick. It goes perfect with what's going on.
Don't you listen to these funky ass niggas tell you shit.
Exactly.
Don't believe these niggas do nothing.
These black and mouth smoke gums having ass niggas.
Don't you do it.
Man.
Don't you listen to these funky ass niggas tell you shit. These niggas got holes in their socks right now. Don't you listen to them.
But here's the catch. This is the part that you missed. I was the one that they came to first.
And you ain't say shit.
And asked me to tell them
on you ain't say nothing. You did the whole lawyer thing.
They didn't know what happened. All they wanted to know was what happened. Tell us what happened. And I said, you know what? Thank you.
But
no thank you. I'm gonna let it ride. And they went to my co-defendant, they went to Larry, and he's like, I'll tell you everything. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you all of this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna tell you about all this other stuff we did in Florida. I'm gonna tell you about the stuff we did here, there. I mean, he just told on everything.
So y'all dudes who think, man, you know, when y'all say one dude soft and another dude hard, you really don't know who it is.
Don't you believe it? The dude that thinks he's the hardest.
No, this nigga shit hit the fan, man.
Hey, there's so many times, man, the hardest dude in the room is the cream puff. Yep. Believe me, it's a phrase that goes that says the loudest motherfucker in the room is not him. He's not the one.
And I try to tell guys, I say, look, and even with like me and you together, whoever together, and I try to tell them, man, they say we friends. I say, brother, I don't know you until the situation, we in a situation. Because you can say all this shit, you can talk all you want.
I'm a hard dude. I got your back. I got your back. But
I've been there where there's been a fight, and I didn't even start the fight. The dude talking shit started the fight, and I'm fighting. And I look around like, well, where he at? He started the fight, and he gone. I'm fighting his fight.
An ounce of pressure. Just an ounce of pressure, bust pipes.
Man,
an ounce of pressure is all it takes.
that is crazy. So the thing I want to switch when you got to the real thing that I think people tuned in when you went to Real Live Street Stars, and I'll let you tell it. What is it you think the people? What headline you think why they tuned in?
Just a month after me being at Leavenworth, I was raped.
You was raped inside the prison.
Mm-hmm.
So you in the prison, you get sentenced. You there as a young dude, and letting you know he in a high security prison. And you look like now you still, black don't crack. You ain't all that dark skin. He a little high yellow, not as high yellow as Ronan. Ronan almost look white.
Whoa!
But but the thing is, let me see your picture again. Let me see that picture. So you look young then.
Yeah.
So you were saying when you was 21, people still thought you was like 15.
When I was 21, they thought I was. Now the warden at Leavenworth put me in segregated housing for about a month because he thought I was too young to be at a penitentiary.
Man, so you there?
Now, regardless of what the federal government said, the warden says, "Hey, look, I think you're too young to be in my prison."
In other words, you're saying, "Nah, you looked a little soft to be in his prison. He didn't want you up in there with them hard prisons."
Think about this. You 21 years old. You about 5'8"?
5'8", 5'7", 5'8".
How much you weigh?
At that point, 130, 125, 130, 140.
130-pound dude in a prison with dudes, they've been lifting weights for years.
Yeah. They toss you around like a bread basket, bro. They lifting way more than you were weighing.
Yep.
They know the system. They know everything. So since we're not going to talk about the book because I went in to read it, let's talk about that first month you in jail. So you in prison, in the federal prison. You find a dude who you can be a companion with because anytime, if you guys don't know.
Really, I got introduced to him as a homeboy because the town or the area where he was from was probably maybe 20, 30 minutes from Shreveport.
So when you go into prison, because I've watched enough 48 hours, 20, whatever the shows are, they divide you up. So if you're somewhere and you're white, you're in this Aryan nation.
Yep.
If you're black, and it's a lot of blacks, they say, well, where you from?
State,
yeah, so
Muslim.
So in federal, because everybody from everywhere, they say, oh, you from Louisiana? They go your people over there. So your people said your Louisiana guys is over there, and so you say, oh, I'm good. I'm meeting my people from Louisiana. You go there and you meet OG. Let's call him OG.
I think because at that point, if I remember correctly, he had been locked up 15 years. I don't know if he had been locked up before, if he had the estate time, but I know as far as that particular federal sentence that he was doing, he had already been locked up 15. I can't remember what he had left after that, but I do know from that point when I met him, he had been already locked up 15.
Man, I'm trying to get that black. If you find that solid one, maybe that's black bubbles on. Here we go. So he was already locked up. He takes you in as like a friend, like, hey, I'm going to show you the ropes. I'm going to show you this. And y'all out just doing your thing. You in prison. You think this is good. I get to drink. I mean, they done made some
talking,
hoops.
We working out. We're going back and forth to the kitchen together.
So you're like, this ain't going to be that bad, man. I can get in shape while I'm here. I'm going to stay young.
Not he's in Club Med. Don't say he's at Club Med and shit.
That's what he thought he was.
That's what I was originally. That's what I was led to believe by my mom when she first found out that I was in the federal system. She was like, "Oh, baby, you're gonna be all right. You're going to Club Fed.
They got golf courses and swimming pools.
You're gonna be all right."
But then we find out that like everything else, all that glitters
ain't gold.
It ain't gold at all.
And what you guys don't understand is sometimes the people who are in prison already have a predator mentality. It's prey versus predator. And they always looking to exploit someone. Always this trickery. They always got some kind of trick. You think the scams are bad outside of prison. You inside of prison and all they got is time to think about the scams.
Yep.
So he seen you as prey, and he was just
waiting on his moment.
Waiting on the moment.
Waiting on the opportunity.
So you said he was throwing some little hints out to you, but you so naive, you ain't hear.
Yeah, we talk about girls, and he'd slide something in, and of course I don't catch the innuendos, and I just kind of like let it go over my head and just glance as if I didn't hear it, or just kind of let it go. Okay, oh okay, and we keep on, and eventually just got to a point. I guess he couldn't take it no more, that I wasn't catching on fast enough, so he just took it.
And your guys will say that, because I've said this to like some girls, like, I ain't into no 2 girls unless you're gonna do it. And that's how it is. We do it. We throw it out there to see what they're gonna do. So
his favorite, the one line that he said that kind of stood out from the whole time was like when we start talking about me going down on girls, or guys going down on girls. He was like, "Well, hell, if you lick a hole, you lick a pole."
Dang.
Nah, bro. See, that's too far right there.
Talking like, we older. So this ain't, see, we talk, and you got to remember, you got to go back before there was the internet, before people know. All you might have had was Jerry Springer to watch. There wasn't that stuff out here where you educated. You just was like the first time I went somewhere out of the town, and I went to my thing was, I went to like this alternative club. I was in college. And I ain't know nothing about no alternative night. And somebody was like, "That's a dude." And I was like, "It ain't no dude." There's no dude. No dude look, they dress like a woman. How's that a dude? They're like, "That's a dude." I never seen like a dude dress up. Or if somebody say they gay, I was always like, but now
flaming.
He gay. Like, he gotta have he talking like this, he doing all that. I was like, nah, that he work construction work. He can't be. So that we just was not exposed to that. If you didn't hang around that, or you wasn't never exposed.
And to show you how naive I was to all of this, I was in transit, just coming in. I was in transit going through at that point is what they call Oklahoma. And I was walking around the little pod, and there was probably 6'2", 6'3" guy, black guy, short hair, and I looked, and he had titties like out to here, titties, not just big little, but like big titties. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, hey, I went and got on the phone. I called my mom, because me and my mama close. That's my baby. I said, "Mom, man,
they got me locked here with a woman.
It's a guy here with titties bigger than yours."
Dang.
But I had never seen, even on TV, I had never seen that.
And you from, not to say where you're from like Shreveport. Were you in a conservative place where it's just not no major city?
But it's just my circle too.
Yeah, but you're not like, if you was in
New York, or somewhere place like that, I probably would have seen it. But just in my circle, I didn't, hang out with gay people, so I had never seen that before.
And even the dude didn't present himself as being
gay. He just walk around the pod like a regular guy. I'm like, what the hell?
So tell me about your situation. So you and the guy, y'all drinking, y'all talking, you think he cool. What makes you think he thought he could approach you?
I don't know what made him think that, but he chose the opportunity that he did. Because I was in his cell, and I was using the bathroom in his cell. And I guess by that point, by me having my pants undone, it made it easier for him to come up behind me and, do whatever he did.
And not saying, not to say, oh, you was small, you was this, but in comparison, how big was the dude compared to you?
Probably, how tall are you?
About 5'10".
Okay, he was probably, I'm gonna say about 6 foot, 6'1", easily over 200 pounds.
So, I mean, he grabbed you, snatched you up. He
rustled me to the bed, and from then he just lay still. Don't say nothing. Be quiet.
Man,
don't say nothing.
So at that point, I know you're thinking like, damn, I got 25 fucking more years to go in this shit.
No, at that point, I was really thinking on it 5, because I figured I was gonna win. Because again, I didn't know nothing about the system.
Oh,
so
you went
I automatically knew that I was gonna win my appeal. And I was gonna be out in 5 years. I'm gonna be back on the streets. But on the grand scheme of it, I knew I had 39 years. That was the max. I just didn't. Wow. At that point, I was
39 years. How do you look at 39 years with any kind of relevance? Like, Yo, that's like
I'm telling you how I looked at it.
21 years.
468 months. The federal system, they don't get to you in years. They get to you in months.
Still, at a 21-year-old man, a 21-year-old kid, looking at 39 years of life being behind bars after your first bad experience. Yo, man, what was your mindset at that point? I mean, you literally had to turn yourself into a beast in your mind. Like, yo, I'm gonna have to do some raw ass shit to stay up in here.
Well, I did not think that I was going to do past
the
5.
39, right?
Once I got past the 5th year and I realized all my pills was dead, I kind of said, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and settle in. I'm just going to do this day for day.
Yeah, because I think when you get that false hope is when it hits you. When you're like, oh man, I could get out, and then all of a sudden you get that paper back and say, your appeal denied. It's almost like somebody just you're getting sentenced all over again.
Yep. And I was like, I'm gonna just live day for day. If I can get out before then, fine. If not, then I just.
So how you go? So this dude, because every dude in this chat is gonna be like, man, I would have killed that dude. If everybody gonna say what they would have done, what they should have done, what they could have done. So after this happens, I mean, what's your thought? Like, man, I'm gonna kill this dude, or I don't know how this happened, or I'm gonna, what was going through your mind?
Just wanted to go away. Just wanted to crawl up on the rock and just hope nobody found out about it, that it just was ever talked about, was never heard about, just so went away.
Man. But
it didn't. It didn't. Eventually, just to fast forward, because prison is a process within itself, because you have what they call A&O. I mean, it just depends on the prison you go to. It just has a different a way of introducing new prisoners to the prison. But just to kind of fast forward, maybe 2 or 3 weeks after it happened, some guys that I knew, because I got moved from that unit to another unit because I was done with A&O. So I went to my regular housing unit that I was supposed to be in. And so some guys that I started hanging around, I was from Louisiana, they happened to be from New Orleans. The guy was coming to the unit looking for me. And so by me telling them, no, I didn't want to go hang out with him.
Man, did you think he was looking for you because you think he thought it was acceptable? Yeah, did he think like, oh, I got him once, I can get him again?
Yeah.
So you just avoided it.
Just avoided it.
And then your people, see, I keep saying your people, but that's a wrong thing because it really ain't your people.
But in prison,
they are, but they aren't.
But I say that
indirectly, they're all from Shreveport, so you're thinking you at home, but you really can't relax like you at home because somebody's out to get you at all times.
And I say your people because I guess what happens is they find out that the dude raped you.
Yep. So they say, hey, we're gonna give you this knife.
You got a choice. You can either.
No, it wasn't really. From them, it wasn't really that. It was just, hey, we're gonna give you this knife. We got your back. All you really have to do is make an attempt, like you gonna stab
at retribution.
We'll jump in and take over. But see, now you asking me to take a knife for somebody that never did any violence and even attempt to stab somebody, and trust that
they gonna help,
that somebody gonna help me in the middle of this melee. So I just declined even that.
So by you declining, the people who was your friends,
they felt like
now they became your enemy.
Well, no, not them. Other people, they were still, they still had my back. They felt like they knew me even in that short period of time to know that
that
wasn't me, and they kind of knew a little bit about him too, to know that was he, what they call a booty bandit.
Man.
So they already knew about him, but I didn't. So that's kind of why.
And then
if they knew about him, wouldn't they already have known that potentially what you were saying was actually true? But you were just so green, you didn't know what you were doing.
And that's why they believed me, because they knew him, they knew his background. Right. But as far as the people in the prison went,
they had rules.
I had to save face with them. Mm-hmm. And so to save face with them, they said, hey, this is what you got to do. And so again, I just didn't have the heart to do that. You know, I'd hear shooting somebody is way easier.
Yeah, you got to get up close and personal.
Get up close and try to stab
personal when you stabbing somebody because there's a lot of blood.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So man, so that happens. Then you get transferred to another prison,
Colorado.
And your story still follow you from Colorado.
Yep. Some guys came there and was like, "Hey, he's hanging out with the Crips here." Oh no, you can't hang out with the Crips here because you got raped at the other prison. So either to walk this yard, you got to I forgot what they told me, but eventually just came down to, hey, you can't be out here. So somebody stabbed me and I went back to the hole.
Man. So you there? I mean, now you was in how long before you was in? 1 month before somebody raped you. How long was you in before you got stabbed?
Let's see. The rape happened in say December, January. I can't remember exactly. But it was
so about 3 months after you got in. That
was in between 95 and 96. I got transferred to Colorado around November of 96. And so I was in April of 97 is when I got stabbed at Colorado.
So what another year?
Roughly a year and some months.
So now I can understand how a young dude who goes in with 2 years ends up with life.
Yeah.
So they come in with somebody does something and then it's either you're going to fight and kill somebody or you're going to let it go.
Yeah.
So I can understand how, I mean, it's not right because you would think that the prison system would help, but it's almost like the inmates run the prison.
Tell. I mean,
yeah. And if you're not snitch, well, it's a catch-22.
Yeah.
You got to tell. And once you tell, then you labeled a snitch.
Yeah. Then it becomes even worse because now you're a punk that got raped.
So how them dudes like Larry and them get away with just snitching?
The prison that they went to, it was, I don't know how they hid it. You know, if they told if he told anybody, you know, but again, the prison he went to, that was probably what they was into. Right. You know, some prisons are what they call check-in yards. Oh. You know, that's the majority of the people that's going to be on that compound is going to be
people who check in.
Yeah, rats and snitches. And you talk about people from your mafias and, you know, all of them, the ones you say you made men, you think that they ain't gonna never tell. They sit right there across the lunch table from you. And these are like mafia men that you know that you see in the news. And here it is, they sitting across the table for they got 100 bodies on their belt, but yet here it is, they didn't told on.
Was you been looked up? Were you locked up with anybody famous?
Not to the point to where.
Now you was locked up where in Louisiana, right?
I was locked up with a guy that did. He was a WorldCom CEO. He did a lot of.
I heard of him.
Schemes.
Bernie Evers. Bernie Evers. So he was like a multi-millionaire, wasn't he?
Yeah, he did a Ponzi scheme. He did like millions and millions of dollars.
And I remember watching
American Greed.
Yeah, American Greed. That was it. And there was some other dude.
That's how I got hip to him because people like, hey man, he's over in that unit over there. Watch the story.
Damn. So he was in there, and I guess it's crazy, man.
I think at one point when I was in North Carolina, I was locked up with Riddick Bowe.
What?
What
Riddick Bowe do?
That's when he was. I think he had got accused of hitting his wife or ex-wife, and he had to do a mental evaluation.
Damn, really?
Yeah. He went to Fed Pen too.
No, it was just, North Carolina was a medium prison, but they did a lot of psychology evaluations there. Because what's his name came there too at some point.
Buck wants to know next week, are you available for a cigar there, Fearless?
Yeah, tell him, Buck, if you come in town, we can go down to Twin Peaks, man. They got a cigar lounge, beautiful women and food. So we can do some shots, smoke some cigars, and enjoy ourselves.
There you go.
I'm down for that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sorry about that.
No, you fine. So, man, so now you win there with man, I guess you got from dudes who doing crack to millionaires. I seen another dude who was in there. I guess he was some kind of booster for the Miami Hurricanes.
Oh yeah. Something Shapiro, Nevin Shapiro. I think that was the name, Nevin Shapiro. But I mean, he was at I want to say Oakdale. I think he was at Oakdale with me, either Oakdale or North Carolina.
I just seen it and I was like, I mean, he was a little dude.
Yeah, Nevin was probably like 5'5".
And he had, I don't know, look,
I
don't know who he was scamming, but that dude had money. Because it was like he had so much money that he was giving it to the Miami Hurricanes. Yep. Like they showed him running out. When they ran out the tunnel,
he was right there.
He was running out the tunnel with them.
Right on the sidelines with Michael Irvin there.
So how does it feel to know, man, I'm in with these people who did this? And maybe, I don't know how much time they got. Maybe they got less time than what you got.
You know, by the time I started running across people that was famous, all that kind of, how you say, settled in, and I was like, you know what, they here with me, you know. Shit, I mean, they put on khakis every day like I do.
Man,
I try. Hey, Vernon, I try to tell people that all the time.
I started to feel like, hey, they just as famous as me. I'm just as famous as them.
Vernon, I try to tell these guys all the time. Everybody's exactly the same. They put their pants on one leg at a time. It don't matter where you are, who you are.
Yep.
Also, I try to tell people, man, you are really, when you look at your life, if you know, there's a game that you play where you take the little circle thing and you drop it and it goes down and
Plinko.
Yeah, Plinko.
Plinko. It's called Plinko, like for Price is Right.
Now you can put that Plinko in the exact same spot and it'll end up somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I say that because as it's traveling, each bounce it takes is like a different decision. And I try to tell guys, man, think back in your life where the one decision you made may have changed your entire life. If you could have went this way or that way, and not just that one, but every little decision. Like for instance, your decision to rob took you somewhere, rob the bank. You had another decision when you were in when you could have stabbed the dude. That could have took you a whole different way.
To go back a little further, getting out the military. You know, if I wouldn't have been a mess up in the military, I would have still been in there.
Right.
So, you know.
So it was the girls that got you in the military, and women's.
Yeah.
Women's.
Well, I don't know if it was the woman as much as it was the military rule that made it illegal for what he did, because it was only less than a year separating the two people. It's just because of the rule that caused him to get in trouble.
Yep.
Other than that, he would have been fine.
I say that because, you know, what we say is, oh man, he was raped. So that means, was he gay or something like that? And if you look in the book, I don't want to say a womanizer, but
as my mama said, because my mama read the book, she does not like it.
You was hitting all them women.
She said, I didn't raise no whore. So I didn't raise you to be no whore.
Correct. And so I was, you know, the thing is, I want to tell guys, you know, some things can happen to you. And I know we get ashamed, we say that. And it may not be nothing you did. It can be the people who plotting on you. And you know, they plotting on you, they see you coming. And you know, there was no way to get out. It was a mark from the beginning.
Yep.
And you know, that's why you always had to be careful who you associate with, who you hang around, because even when you was robbing your banks, there was times where they sit in the car and send you in.
Not no time. That was it.
It was every time. Wait a minute. He was the lead. Right. Oh, boy was just the driver. He was the lead, like he was the organizer, and that wasn't true. It was appeared to be that way, but it wasn't true. He was not the organizer.
Man. So you robbed banks and still didn't benefit, man. That's it.
The only thing I benefited was learning life from a different perspective.
So 25 years in, I put that in the chat if anybody would join and ask Vernon any questions that we have. I also put a link here. We're going to do an interview with it. Well, we've already done an interview.
We already done it. We're going to be putting
a 4-hour interview with him. I'm going to put up the real life street stars, their link too. I'm going to put that in the chat for anybody who wants to go there. They had interviewed him, and That interview, man, I ain't gonna lie. I went to the interview today with him because he came in to Dallas and he went to Real Life Street Stars and was having an interview. I ain't gonna lie. I was hoping that your boy Eric was there, man.
And actually, be honest, I asked him to come.
Man, I just
asked him to come. He said no.
And here's the thing, and this is nothing against you. You 5'8", still probably about 150 pounds.
I'm 150 pounds now. Yeah. Just imagine me at 150 now, but younger.
You know, I'm 5'10", 5'11", 240 pounds.
Y'all shrimps.
No, I'm saying me and Eric would have had a different kind of conversation. You know what I'm saying? And I say that because I put the link of the interview in there. And if you've seen, and I'm going to give an overview of kind of how Eric was. He kind of took advantage of you. He was loyal to you. You go into prison. They catch Eric later. He convinces you to say, look, man, I wasn't there. Tell him I wasn't there. You know, let me off the hook. He says, I'm going to take care of you, man. You know, I'm going to take care of you. You let me off the hook. You know, I'm good. You let him off the hook. Make up a whole story about how he wasn't there. He goes, he's free. He say, I'm going to visit you. Here go my number. The day he's supposed to visit you, he don't show up. 2 days later, you call him and the phone been changed.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of sucker is that, man? What kind of dude is that, man? You know, you
what they say, these hoes ain't loyal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So do I need to go back to Minister Jack real quick? I gotta go back to Minister.
Don't you listen to these funky ass niggas tell you shit.
I'm trying to tell you.
And it's sad that, you know, and the reason I don't like somebody like that is you won't prey on somebody like me. You know, you know the system.
But you gotta be fair. You gotta keep it in the context of the time. You're speaking from Adrian's.
Oh no, Adrian would have
at 40 years old.
But here's the thing.
At 20, your mindset was probably a little bit different.
Here go the part. Now, I would have thought it through. Meaning, at this point in my life, I got so much to lose that I would have been like, you know, maybe I shouldn't kill him. And I would have thought, like I'd have played chess. You know what I'm saying, bro? I'd have played chess. Meaning, if I kill him and I don't get away, I'm gonna lose this. Or I would have plotted how I could have killed him and it got away with it. That's me now. At 20,
you just gonna go.
It would have just been whatever would have happened at that moment. I'm willing to take the consequences, and that's the problem because I would have acted on emotion. I'd have.
You talking about two brothers that grew up hunting, fishing. We know how to kill and hide your body if we need to cut you up.
So
you get what I'm saying?
I understand where you at, but I'm saying where I would have been would have not been a good state because I would have acted irrational. And that's never good, you know, and that's how you get in trouble because you don't think and you just acting off of emotion and you just doing it. So I can say at that point you was good, but I can't make no excuses for the dude, man, because he's older than you. Mm-hmm. He went to jail already, so he know the system. He was in Angola. He know the system. He know how it came up. And it's like,
yeah, but he still got this young man to speak up and say he wasn't there for all of them, even though I think he was there for the biggest one of all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't y'all have the biggest take when he was involved in that one?
Yeah, Eric.
Second and third one? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just sad to see, you know, that's where I say the anger came in to say, man, you know, you're gonna do that, you know, you do it to the weakest. And I guess that's how it is. And not weak as in, you know, you was weak, but you was the most naive. You was the person who didn't understand how the game went.
Exactly.
Man, that's crazy, man. I put the link in there. This was a hit and run. I'm not gonna hold you too much longer. I'm hoping to have some people come up that may want to ask some questions. Is there anything you want to talk about? Because you know, I talked about him with saying this book called Money, 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 The Root of All Evil. And I told them that he named this book entirely wrong. The reason is, I know what you're saying, the money was from somebody else. But you robbed banks. And I was thinking at the end when we talked about money, you know, y'all might have got how much money?
154,000.
And of that, I mean, I only heard you talk about maybe 5,000.
That I did myself, that I got, something like that.
So they, out of that 150, he should have had 50, but he only got 5. And then this how they played.
You said your girl pulled a little aside because y'all were going to make your great escape at one point.
Yeah, the Taco Bell.
Right.
Yeah, because I think out of the last one that we did with Eric, I probably pulled out maybe 5-10 to the side for me and her.
Right.
Like that.
But this how I know the money wasn't doing. He was still doing stupid stuff like making bets. So before y'all rob a bank, y'all betting on stuff. And so when you rob the bank,
I go here.
You got to owe him money already. So you robbing the bank just to pay.
You under the gun, in other words.
Oh, man. And those was like those street bets, man. That ain't like that's just like me and you making a wage.
That's why I said I looked at it from that standpoint. Was like, it's just some, we're going to bet, all right, bet. And bet don't, winners like, all right, you won, and we just move on. But he was,
but it wasn't nothing like y'all were sitting there popping dice up against a wall or something like that in a group.
Yeah, he was like, "Nah, you owe me. I want my money."
Man, that would have. So here's what make you a much better man than me. No, I'm saying it, man, because there's some things that make you much better than me. You was able to reconcile, like, it seems as though you got out of prison, you put all that animosity and all that behind you and just say, hey, I'm free, I'm starting my new life. Where I would have gotten out of prison and I'd have still seen Eric, and I'd have thought about all them 25 years that I was in.
God in therapy.
I believe it.
God in therapy.
And that's why I say you're better, because
God in therapy.
And you know why that is?
Wait, how tall is Eric?
5'10". I think he's about Asian height, about 5'10".
So that's what I'm saying. Me and him would have had to go.
That's on principle. After 25 years, I would have whooped his ass and then shook his hand after I picked his ass up from whooping his ass. And say, now we motherfucking even. Now, no, hold on. Let me finish. The reason I said that is I spoke up for you. I kept your ass out of jail. I don't care how fucking forgiving I am. You owe me. And I'm going to take a pound of fucking flesh or I'm going to take my money. One of the two.
But
that's me. You
Ronan,
can say all that you want. But no, after 25 years of me giving up my life and I got to stare at you every fucking day, that ain't going to be over until one of those two happen.
But the reason I say that, Ronan, here go the problem with that. Not the problem. I'm with you mentally. But what happens is, it's just, all right, I know some chicks that still see a dude and they still mad. And I say to him, you still mad at him because you got feelings.
No, that's called repressed anger. It's called repressed anger.
Correct.
Just like motherfuckers in the military have compartmentalized anger because they never got to deal with all the shit that they had to deal with. That's the same thing. You can repress it for only so long. Every time you see that person, it's going to fucking flare up. I don't give a fuck how much you talk about it. I don't care. It's going to flare up.
What happens is that person still... Oprah Winfrey said something a long time ago. She said,
Oprah lied.
That's what she said.
Oprah lied. She lied about being great when she was a child. She never was.
Let me finish. Oprah said that she had this hate for this person. And she would always avoid them. She would go to these places. She would always do that because she had this burning hate. She said when she seen the person looked at her like, hey, what's up? The person had no animosity. The person didn't.
Oprah envied the girl. She lied.
The person didn't even know that Oprah was hating her. So Oprah had all this in her. It affected her life, how she moved, how she did that, where it didn't even affect the other person.
Right. So I'm saying the other person didn't do nothing to her. Oprah envied that woman. She didn't hate her. Oprah envied the woman. The woman had no envy or hate for Oprah. So Oprah wasn't even a thought in this woman's brain. The person's brain that this woman lived in was Oprah's. Oprah's the one that was the hater and the envy.
He's smarter than us because either Eric was going to live in his brain or he just said, you know what? It don't affect me no more. And so I'm saying you every day when you see him, you're gonna be plotting and you're gonna be mad, and all your thing gonna be there because you want to go get him. And until you get him, and if you don't get him on day one, and that's 10 years, and you still don't get him, all them 10 years just affected your life.
No, it didn't.
It did.
No, it didn't.
I get. See, what he's saying is you were still gonna think about Eric for 10 years.
He ain't gonna be a thought in my mind. It's when I see him, it's gonna be a thought in my mind. And so I hear a big ass apology, and my apology back for him for receiving that apology is me whooping his ass. Now apologize after I whoop your ass.
Yeah, but see, like now, if I was to do something to him, I'd go back to prison.
No, because he's gonna take it on the chin because he owed you.
No, he ain't taking on the chin when he robbed the bank.
No. On principle, listen to me. On principle, this man said, "I'm gonna put money on your books. I'm gonna make sure you okay."
So what makes you think he ain't gonna call a probation and be like, "The dude
I will still whoop his ass." And if I had to go back
to jail, you gonna go back. You gonna go right the same position you was at.
See, you still taking a lot of variables into account. Who's to say if I just hit him in his chin or his jaw and he fall and then that's it? What if he hit his head on the concrete or hit his head on something?
With that right now, I ain't concerned with none of that.
See, I have to think about all that because
and I'm an insurance agent. I still wouldn't give a fuck about that at that point.
Yeah, but at that point, you open yourself up to a attempted murder charge or manslaughter.
I done opened myself up to 25 years serving for somebody that could have been serving at least a little bit of time because I took the whole rap and not gave him none of it.
So you beating him up does what? I just want to know. What does it do?
Like I said, it teaches him a lesson to.
What lesson he gonna learn? What lesson? Listen, he already robbed banks. He already been in jail.
25 years to pass.
What lesson he learned?
First of all, he gonna know every time he step around me, he gonna tell me.
But he's not gonna step around you because you gonna be in jail.
That's fine.
Gonna be out.
You know what? That's fine too. He could take that ass whooping and never be in front of me again. I don't give a fuck.
But now, hold up. But now you spent 25 years because of him. Now you're going to spend another 5 years because
at that point. Here's the thing. How many brothers do you know? Listen. How many brothers you know came out the pen and said, I don't give a fuck if I had to go back in? Or
I don't want to. Hold on. How many say that and actually mean that? Because everybody say that, but a lot of them. But when I was in prison, a lot of every guy
would have wore his ass out just on general.
I'm done. I ain't coming back.
I don't give a damn. I would have wore his ass on.
6 months,
this brother said he was going to put money on my books. This brother said he was going to put money on my books for sucking up his time. You going to pay me.
But here's the thing. What you going to get from him, Ronan? You ain't going to get no money from him.
Satisfaction. My satisfaction.
So you ready to spend 5 years for satisfaction?
I don't give a fuck. What do I got to live
spend 5 years in jail for satisfaction?
Yes, so what?
Then you lose it all again.
Oh, well.
And while you spending satisfaction,
I already lost it at that point. I haven't built nothing back up. If I came out, saw him first day, I would have dotted his ass.
All right, what if you see him year 5? You don't see him first day.
I still would have dotted him the first time I saw him. And then I would have shook his hand and say, hey, brother, how you doing?
Here's the thing. I think
you don't understand, but I'm that way. I will wear your ass out and then pick you back up and shake you and hug you and say, it's all good.
But you say that because you don't have the 25 years that you lost.
I don't care.
When you lost that 25 years in prison, thinking it was going to be 30 to 39 years.
Here's the thing you don't understand. Guys in the military sign their lives over by contract. Vernon understands this. You can do some fucked up shit in the military and go to jail for it. Vernon understands this. How many times you've seen brothers get in fights and they didn't give a fuck what rank it was, but they, on principle, stood on that shit and they squared the fuck up. Fought, shut the fuck up, and moved on with their day.
But here's the thing: you do it the first time because you're doing it because you're emotional.
No, it ain't about emotional. It's called principles. It's called standards. You open your mouth to tell me something and you don't follow through, I'm gonna make sure you understand. The next time you promise another motherfucker something, you gonna follow through on that shit.
You think that, but that's like saying
they know not to do it around me. They'll know not to do it around me.
Yeah, you cheated on me.
They will know not to do it around me. I swear to God. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers I done put down in the military thought they were alpha males. I don't give a fuck. You gonna stand on principle around me. That's how I got my nickname in the first place. I don't play about that shit.
But everybody, again, it goes back to the individual. everybody's different. I just handle my situation the way that I handle it.
I get it, but I'm telling you,
it don't work for everybody.
This dude could not be comfortable around me until he got his ass whooped or he paid me.
Well, I mean, everybody's different.
And so say he ain't comfortable around you, beat him up, then he call probation, you go to jail. He's still living his life.
Prove it.
He's still living the same life that he just lived.
Then he'll be a bitch ass and I'll be in jail. I don't care at this point. But I got my pound of flesh.
So,
but I got my pound of flesh. I don't care.
That's the thing. Some people say, like, he might be like, look, I could, like me, if somebody hurt my daughter, then I could sit in jail and be like, yeah, I'm good. I can sit in jail for this. I wouldn't.
So wait a minute. Wait. Just in that instant right there, somebody has to hurt somebody that you care about, but you don't care about yourself enough that when you get hurt to step up for yourself. See how the contradiction is?
No.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Hold up, Ronan.
Listen to what I'm saying. You just said if somebody touches my daughter or my wife, I will do it. But if somebody touches you, you don't care.
I didn't say that. At the time, yes. We talking about 30 years later.
I don't give a fuck. You think there's a time limit? Listen. Do you think there's a time limit? Somebody listen. If somebody hurt your daughter,
hold up. See,
let me finish. If somebody hurt your daughter, listen. If somebody hurt your daughter and they went away to prison, is that enough time for you when they get out? Your daughter's still not here. Is that enough time for you to forgive that motherfucker? Or when he gets out, on principle, if he happened to look happy one day and he happened to walk in front of you, are you going to remind him what he did to your daughter?
No, go ahead. There you go, bro.
Are you going to remind him what he did to your daughter while he's sitting there smiling? Your daughter ain't there no more.
But here's the thing for that. If
you skipping, you about that. No, answer the question. Answer the question first.
My daughter's life, I already said that I would have no problem spending my time in jail.
Thank you. No matter whether he got out.
But that's just taking somebody's life. That's taking somebody's life. So here's the thing. He spent more time in prison than he was alive. So you can't.
I understand that too.
You processing it because you was able to have a full life, full kids, all of that. So say you went to prison. Now your mama's sick. You get out. Your mama's sick. Your daddy's sick. You ain't had no kids. You have no legacy, and you do that, and you go back and your mom die in prison. While you're in prison, your dad died while you're in prison. Maybe you had a son when you was 20. He died or he get in trouble when you're in prison. Now what you gonna do? Because he had a hard life. He on drugs. He doing this. He looking for you to mentor, but you so preoccupied that you got to beat this dude's ass that now your mom is alone. Now she in a nursing home. She ain't got nobody to take care of. Your dad ain't got nobody to take care of. Your son cracked out, and you still willing to do all of that because your pride and ego.
You know who you sound like right now?
I'm asking you a question.
I'm going to tell you. You know how you sound like right now, Angie? You know how Angie like to move the goalpost? You just moved the fuck out that
I ain't moved no goalpost.
Yes, you
did. Because
did.
here's the thing. Let's talk about you right now. If you spent 30 years in prison, right now your mom is in her 80s. You do something a year when you said as soon as you got it's sight on scene. As soon as you get out, you do something again, you violate and go back to prison. Why is it that far away?
That's how long it's gonna take me to get home.
No, I wonder why it's 3 hours. It was just 2 hours.
Because I don't know. That's just from when you.
Maybe it's traffic.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap up in a minute.
Yeah, if he's doing a map, he got to deal with the traffic too. It's Sunday.
Yeah, but I didn't think it would be because last time it was like 2 hours and 10 minutes.
If you got to go by Galveston, it's busy back there. You got to go down through Galveston. Which way you go? Through
taking Lake 20. Charles? He got taking 20
through Lake Charles.
You go through Lake Charles?
No, straight down 20. Straight 20.
Straight 20 to Shreveport.
Straight 20. One shot.
All right. We ain't gonna hold him too much.
We need to wrap this up because we can have this conversation on the side. We don't need to have that online at all. You know,
here go the book, people.
I just don't play that shit.
Here go the book. The link is gonna be in there. Rona has it in the description. I'll put it there. This is Money, the root of all evil. The author here is Vernon Miller. 200. How many pages?
246.
I thought it was 398 from what the thing was saying.
I think that's just on Kindle. I think.
Yeah, that's how I got the Kindle book.
Yeah,
I got the Kindle version.
Version 246.
And so if you go and watch the Street Stars,
Real Life Street Stars,
and then read the book, you're gonna be like, hold up, they ain't the same, because Paul and he changed the names to protect the innocent, and then he tell who the innocent people are. So
right, he dropped names after the fact.
Oh, but because the only people that's really consequential in that story is me, Eric, and Larry.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't mind telling our role,
but everybody else is
everybody else that came into a play, I kind of have to let them know on the side, hey, look, I put this book out, so if you read it, you in it, but only you know.
Chicks, you
only
like, look,
you know
that was you.
That's you.
You tell them chicks, that was you in the back seat of that car, but I don't want your husband to know or your kids to know. Right. That was us.
You know how women walk up to you after the fact? You just wrote that book. Women probably walk up to you like, was that me, the girl that did this, that, and the other thing? Was that?
I'm waiting to contact me, be like, was that me?
Didn't you say you got notice from your interview? Somebody noticed you?
I was at Barbecue Shack the other day, and somebody with my God, but somebody was like, I know you. I seen your interview on YouTube.
Man.
But here lately, every couple of weeks I go out somewhere and somebody say, I know you. I seen you on YouTube.
And what you got to do is you got to be like, well, buy my book.
That's here lately. That's what I'm always saying. I'm like, my book out now, right?
Exactly.
And I tell them, hey, you got to go to YouTube, or tell them to go to my Facebook page.
You got to get a little
keep
QR
a couple
code
in your back seat. Yeah, keep a couple in your back seat and have a QR code that you make up. They can scan it and go right to it and buy it.
Yeah, when they say that, man, because you be like, I'll give you a signed version. I'm right here. I can take a picture with you and sign it.
I did a lady like that. She ordered my book and called me over. I went over to her house and signed it and took a picture with her.
And just to let you know, I'm even though I'm promoting another site, he was just on Real Life Street Stars. The gentleman said if you order the book and you send in a receipt that you ordered the book, they're doing a raffle and you can win up to $150 for doing that. So order that book. The book, is $10 under there. And
$10.99. I got the Kindle version.
Yeah. So, support a brother out, because I'm going to say this jokingly. If you don't buy the book, you might rob another bank. So we don't want that brother to rob.
In actuality, you buying the book actually helps me, because I'm kind of homeless at the moment. I have a place to live, but it's not my place. And so actually, you buying my book helps put money in my pocket to give me a place to live.
And do the effort, man. Y'all buy that other stuff. That's just some Chipotle, man. Chipotle gonna last you for a half an hour. This book can last you and give an impression for the rest of your
life. Lessons in this book. You heard me?
Life lessons.
Because this book, like I explained over on the other one, this book is really for parents. About raising children that they try to hold on real tight to, and then when they actually get out into the street, the child don't know what to do, so they just latch on to the first thing that comes along, because it feels good, looks good. And so, that's
and this goes along with the single moms that we talk about all the time, and their sons and not having direction after they leave the house. And they can fall into these things. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So that's really another idea that sparked this. I wanted to tell my story about coming from a good home, nice home, because it can happen. It can happen. AB student, military, it can happen. Just you come to the wrong people at the wrong time, just they feel a need, feel a void, and bam, there you go.
Well, all right, man, we're gonna let y'all go. I'm gonna make sure this brother gets back to Louisiana, all in one favor. He wearing his LSAU shirt, so he's feeling like he a tiger now. He feeling good.
I'm gonna show this off real quick. Hold on.
I think you got a pro.
There's the book on Kindle.
Exactly. That's
copy is $21.99. You got paperback for $10.99, or you can buy the Kindle version.
I thought you had where that promo you did for him, not the one that you did.
It was part of a video. It was part of the included video that he had, the one-on-one with Georgia. It was on that promo video.
All right. But that's good. That's all right. So
I got to clip it up, but I'll clip it up and start posting it again. Because it's the holidays. You can get some deals.
Get that book, as a gift for somebody. Last minute gift. Go ahead and get that for them. I'm gonna take this down. There you go. I'm gonna remove that.
Let me see if I can
make sure you buy that as a gift for someone, and you might change somebody's life. So it's got some good things. Well, Vernon, man, I appreciate you coming in town. I appreciate the interview. Whenever he got time to try to fight somebody, but he ain't got no time to edit the video that we need him to do.
Nah, brother, don't even play me like that. Don't even play me like that.
Shoot, it should be like
somebody living rent free in your head.
Yeah.
Shit.
You got somebody up there running around rent free.
Y'all got jokes.
Yeah, this brother, we need him to finish this video.
I let Eric go a long time ago. Therapy helped me out a lot.
We say that to guys, man. Make sure you get therapy. We can see that Ronan ain't got no therapy. He still want to take a brother out first day. They going to
I know. Just to give you I know you might want to call me back to do a interview about my mental health, the suicide attempt.
Yep, we're gonna do that. Yeah, as soon as this brother gets this out, we're gonna take that.
Did you know about that, Ronan?
What's that?
Did Adrian tell you?
No, he was there. Remember, we had a phone call with him.
Oh, tried to commit suicide.
Yeah, we had the phone call.
That was right after that. Yeah.
Let me see if y'all can hear this. Can y'all hear this?
Conversation is Vernon, an author who lays his truth bare in his eye-opening book, Money, 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 the Root of All Evil. Vernon takes us back to his time behind bars and the stories that shaped him, stories about survival, resilience, and the price of silence. And that's not all. We're also joined by HB Gone Global, a Marine.
All right, I'm gonna clip that part up.
All right, brother, you take care
the
of
whole video.
Hey, Wade, we appreciate you showing up and showing out. Thank you for the support. This was like a last minute thing, so please catch us on the replay. Absolutely, that'll be good. It's an interesting story. We want to make sure Vernon gets back in one piece. And you got work tomorrow? All right.
Tomorrow and Tuesday. I'm off Thursday and Friday. I mean, Wednesday and Thursday.
All right, that's good.
Oh, I sell cars. But that's my day job. I'm a car salesman. I got to get that plug. I need sales. I need to sell some cars.
Man, he's selling cars like stars and candy bars.
This is funny.
Yeah, we have fun here. It ain't as serious like on the street. On the street, right. Them brothers are serious up there. They're like, look, we have fun over here. But guys, we appreciate you joining in. We're gonna be doing a hit and run tomorrow on Christmas. Christmas just ain't Christmas without somebody coming down your chimney that you don't know. So, well, all right, guys, I'm out of here. Thank you for joining. Make sure you subscribe to both channels. Hit that like button. Put a comment inside of there. Let us know you watched us.
Follow me on social media.
Yeah, follow him.
Yeah, what's your social medias, man? We need to put those up.
Yep. I'll make sure I put it in the description. We got.
Yes, please.
Until tomorrow.
Look.
We out.
Deuces.
They told me, a newborn king to see. Got
a family to feed, got a family to feed.
Jingle bells,
yeah.
Jingle bells,
yeah.
Jingle
on that,
all the way.
juju on that beat. Now slide, drop, hit them from the
ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
Don't stop,
hey, dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. Over the field we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtails ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing. I've been down so long, you look like jingle bells. They look jingle bells. I got fake people showing fake love to me, straight up to my face. Straight up to my face. Baby, I just need one good one to stay.
Deck the house with bells of holly. La 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 la.
Cut it,
la la
cut it,
la.
Cut it.
'Tis the season to be jolly. La 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 la. La la la.
Oh, you better watch out. You better not cry. Better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming to town.
That girl is a real crowd pleaser.
He's making a list. He's checking it twice. Gonna find out who's naughty or nice. So Santa Claus is coming to town. Oh, they told me,
yeah.
a newborn king to see. Got a family to feed, got a family to feed. Jingle.